The first time my father told me I was dead to him, I was holding my newborn son in my arms. He didn't whisper it. He didn't say it in anger. He said it like he was reading the weather. "You chose that life," he said, staring at the baby like he was an inconvenience. "You're not my daughter anymore." And just like that, 26 years of being daddy's girl disappeared in a single breath. I didn't cry. I think something inside me froze instead. My name is Alina Reyes. I was 24, unmarried, and standing in the hospital hallway with a stitched body, a sleeping infant, and no home to go back to. My crime. I fell in love with a mechanic instead of a banker. My father built his empire from nothing: construction, real estate, investments. By the time I was born, he had already turned hunger into a story he told at dinner parties. But hunger leaves a mark on people. It makes them obsessed with never being small again. My father didn't just want success, he wanted perfection. And perfection in his world had a dress code, a degree requirement, and a last name that matched the right circles. Mateo didn't fit any of it. Mateo had grease under his nails and calluses on his hands. He fixed engines. He laughed loudly. He said what he meant. He didn't lower his voice around wealth. My father hated him on sight. "You're throwing your future away," he told me the night I said I was pregnant. "I am building my future," I replied. He didn't shout. He just stood up from the dining table and walked out of the room. The next morning, my bank account was frozen. My credit cards declined. My car title mysteriously transferred back under his company. Control, that was his language. I moved into Mateo's small apartment above the garage where he worked. It smelled like oil and metal and coffee. It was cramped and loud and nothing like the marble floors I grew up on, but it was honest. And for a while, I thought love would be enough, until Mateo died. It was quick. A highway accident, a truck driver who hadn't slept in 30 hours, a phone call at 2:13 a.m. that changed the shape of my life. I remember the hospital lights again. I remember the way my knees gave out. And I remember thinking, I am completely alone now. I didn't call my father, not even then. I worked 2 jobs with a newborn strapped to my chest. I answered emails while rocking him to sleep. I took online certification courses at night because grief doesn't pay rent. I learned digital marketing, then business analytics, then brand strategy. It started small, 1 client. Then 2, then 5. I built campaigns for small businesses who couldn't afford big agencies. I understood them because I was them. 3 years passed. My son Leo grew into a bright, stubborn little boy who loved toy trucks and asked questions that pierced straight through you. One afternoon, while I was working at the kitchen table, he looked up and asked, "Mom, why don't we see Grandpa?" Children don't ask casually. They ask because they feel the absence. I paused. "He doesn't like me very much," I said carefully. Leo frowned. "Why?" "Because I made a choice he didn't agree with." Leo thought for a second, then said, "That's silly." I smiled, but something inside me shifted because he was right. It was silly, but it had cost me everything, or so I thought. When Leo was 4, one of my campaigns went viral. A small bakery I helped rebrand exploded online. Within months, I had contracts with mid-sized companies. Within a year, I hired my first employee. By year 5, I had a team of 23. We moved into a real office. Glass walls, city view, clean desks, my name on the door, Reyes Strategy Group. I didn't choose the name for him. I chose it for me because I refused to erase myself. Then came the invitation. A formal embossed envelope delivered to my office. My father's company was celebrating 40 years in business. Gala dinner, investors, press, politicians. And at the bottom, handwritten, "I think it's time we talked." No apology, no warmth, just control trying to re-enter the room. I stared at the card for a long time, then I RSVP'd yes. The ballroom glittered that night, chandeliers. Champagne, the same polished world I once belonged to. I walked in wearing a black gown and quiet confidence. Leo wasn't with me. He was home with my assistant, eating pizza and watching dinosaurs. Safe. When my father saw me across the room, he went still. Age had found him, lines deeper, hair thinner, but the pride in his posture remained. "You look well," he said as I approached. "So do you," I replied. It wasn't entirely true. He glanced at the crowd. "I've been hearing your name lately." "I work hard," I said. He nodded slowly. "You always were ambitious." Silence stretched between us, 5 years of it. Then he said, "I may have been harsh, may have." I studied him carefully. He wasn't sorry for hurting me. He was sorry I survived without him. I didn't come here for revenge, I said quietly. I came so you could see something. He frowned slightly. See what? That I didn't die when you said I was dead to you, the words landed. For the first time his composure cracked. You embarrassed this family, he muttered. I built my own. He looked at me sharply. Where is the boy? At home, loved. Secure, happy, another silence. You kept him from me, you let us go. That one hit harder. Around us, applause began. It was time for his speech. He was being called to the stage. He hesitated before walking away. When he reached the podium, he looked out at the crowd, investors, partners, legacy, and then he looked at me. I built this company with discipline, he began, with standards. He paused. But I have learned something in recent years. The room quieted. Sometimes strength doesn't look like obedience, sometimes it looks like survival. Murmurs moved through the crowd. My daughter, he continued, built something from nothing as well, and while we disagreed on the path, I cannot deny the result. He didn't say sorry, but he said my name, publicly, and in his world that meant everything. When the event ended, he approached me again. Bring him by some time, he said. It wasn't reconciliation, it wasn't healing, but it was a door left open. I didn't promise anything, because forgiveness isn't automatic, respect is earned. That night I went home, kicked off my heels, and lay beside Leo while he slept. I watched his chest rise and fall, and I realized something. My father didn't make me strong, being abandoned did, losing everything did. Choosing myself did. If you are watching this and someone once told you that you were nothing without them, if someone cut you off because you didn't fit their image, if someone tried to make you small so they could feel big, listen to me carefully. You are not dead to anyone, you are just getting started. Build quietly, heal privately, grow relentlessly. And one day when they see you again, let your success speak in a language they can't ignore. If this story stirred something in you, don't just scroll past it. Share it. Stand up for yourself, and never let someone else define your worth. And if you want more stories about survival, power, and rebuilding from nothing, stay with Whispers of Me. God bless.